Hey, y'all. Coach Paul here. God has qualified me. This is Move Mondays, and you have greatness in you. But before we get into that greatness, y'all know I got to say what I always say. Watch this. If you don't move, that person, those people, those places, those things, those thoughts, those ideas, or those ways, they are definitely going to move you. And I promise you this, you don't want to move where they're going to move you to. All right, y'all, let's get going. Now, one of the things that we have to know that's a part of our greatness, watch this, y'all. Y'all got to pay attention to this. One of the things that is definitely going to be a part of all of our greatness is adversity. Yeah, y'all heard me say it. Adversity. People hate that word. That's a bad word. But it's a word that we need to make sure that we embrace because it is coming. What am I saying? Greatness, I remember when I started my recovery and healing journey, somebody had said to me, there is no easier, softer way. And it isn't. It's not an easier, softer way to moving into our greatness. And that's a good thing because it helps us to build what we call relentlessness and resiliency. And those are some of the things that we are going to be talking about today. But before we start talking, I need y'all to subscribe first to this page. Thank y'all so much. And with that being said, I want to introduce to you all my lovely daughter-in-law, Tiana. Tiana, say hi to the Move Monday people.
Hello, what's up, Move Monday people?
Let me tell y'all something. She's nervous as all get out. But before we get done, y'all gonna hear some awesome words and encouragements from this young lady because, again, like I said at the beginning, part of our greatness is going to mean that we're going to face adversity. Now, what we do with that adversity is going to determine whether or not our greatness is going to move us to the next level or we're going to continue to allow things to be in our way. And stop our greatness, right? Stun our greatness, stun our extraordinary potential. This is what we're going to be talking about today. And so with that being said, and without further ado, as I already introduced my lovely daughter-in-law, Tiana, to you all, I want Tiana to tell y'all a little bit about adversity in her life.
Okay, well, so he's introducing me as his daughter-in-law, and that's what I am. Essentially ex, though. But he gonna always be my dad. Okay?
That's right. 100.
He gonna always be my dad.
100.
And one of the things that happened in the beginning of the adversity is I recently had our son. My son is now 6, me and my ex, and found out that he also had autism. Came to visit my dad, and literally 2 days later, my ex left. He was just gone. And 24 hours after that, I found out that we had to be out of our house within another 24 hours before the marshal was going to come and seize our home. So all of this is coming down on me pretty quickly. Have to figure out how to support 2 kids. At the time, I was working part-time, so didn't really have a whole lot of options in the way. Me and my oldest had to separate. He went to stay with a friend, and me and my baby stayed in my mom's house in the living room on an air mattress, and he slept in a playpen. And that's where we were for 3 months.
Watch this, y'all. Along with debt that she didn't know they had. Go ahead.
Exactly. So that, okay, $13,000 worth of debt, basically. That was just missing. We had been saving. We were trying to buy land and build on it. At least that's what I thought the plan was. And when you start checking accounts and start looking into things, when the trickle down starts to happen, I realized money was missing. And so I ended up being garnished. But thankfully, I actually had my own stash of savings. Okay. So I used that to counter because I couldn't afford to have that garnishment come out of my account. But been able to fully recover since then.
Amen. We're going to talk about the recovery in a minute. But she talked about the fact that she had to have a stash put up just in case. And one of the things that our greatness tells us is when something is wrong or something is off, right? And so it had to be something that told you that something was off. I got to make sure that I have a nest egg. Talk about that.
Well, yeah, in the very beginning, me and my ex had issues financially. And so it was always a situation where I'm cleaning up a mess or I'm borrowing money and I have to pay someone back. In particular, I would borrow from my mom or something like that, someone I trusted. And that was a pattern that was set early on, that bills weren't getting paid. There was lies about jobs, all kinds of things. Lights is turned off. That wasn't the first time my home was taken from me. I was evicted from an apartment with my ex and just constantly clean up a mess. So right away, you separate your finances quick. So we weren't filing taxes together. We didn't have we had a joint, but we also had our separate accounts, money that he didn't have access to and couldn't see. So, and then of course, when I would file taxes, I would file it and it would come to me. So I would put that money aside because I thought we were trying to build something, build a future together. But it ended up being what I needed to save myself in the long run.
Right. And I'm glad that your greatness antennas were up. Unfortunately, it had to be up against somebody that was supposed to be her help, right? Her life partner, the person that she was supposed to spend the rest of her life with, you know, and I'm gonna mention something else a little bit later, but in terms of when we are walking in our greatness, one of the other aspects of walking in our greatness is that we have someone to walk in our greatness with us. We have somebody that's walking alongside of us. And, you know, ideally, that'll be our significant other, whether it's our husband or our wives. Unfortunately, in some cases, that's just not the case. And we have to have friends, you know, extended family members, parent-in-laws, or whatever the case may be, cousins that step in and take their place. But one of the things that what I'm saying is that part of our greatness means that we're going to always have to have somebody that's going to walk alongside of us that we can trust. And if you're walking in your greatness and you have to do other things such as what Tiana had to do, that means, again, like I said, if you don't move people, places, and things, right? If you don't move those persons, they're going to move you. And she was moved because of a belief in the fact that we're going to work this out at some point.
Well, faith, right?
Yeah,
so I come from a family of faith and believer and Bible, right? And so one of the things that was taught and that I've read from the scriptures is that you make your marriage work. You made that vow, you live to that vow. And
greatness.
So I wasn't going anywhere. And here's the thing, I didn't go anywhere. My ex left us and I still loved him through all of that. And here's the thing, I don't hate my ex.
Right.
I'm not bitter with my
ex. Greatness stops you from hating people. Go ahead.
But I had to do the work. So therapy was definitely key. Learning to love myself was definitely key. Being unapologetic about doing stuff for myself. So it is not always easy, but I have had people in my corner that have supported me, who have uplifted me, who pour positivity into me. He is one of them.
I'm just kidding.
No, he truly is. I feel good when I talk to this man. I probably should pay him. Never gonna probably pay him.
Just keep being my daughter-in-law. That's my paycheck.
So, but I feel good. And this is one of the reasons why I'm sitting here with him today. Like, think about that. Yeah. Is technically is your son, but me and you have a great relationship. Yeah. And you wonder how things come to be, right? Because for the longest in our relationship, I was married to my husband for 15 years and I didn't know his dad. I heard about him. Yeah. But when I finally met him, instantly we clicked. So, and stayed there through this process. Yeah. Hence the reason why I'm here at his house. I bought his grandbaby to him. He's loving every second of it.
Yes, I am. And listen, this boy is definitely a Move Monday episode because he moves. Hallelujah.
Nonstop. I said, welcome to my world. So, but for me, Dad, like one of the things that I love too is even though it took work, there was a moment in this whole process where I didn't see through the fire. There was smoke and I had to jump and I didn't know where I was going to land. And
let me stop you. Can I stop you? I'm going to stop you. You said I didn't see through the fire. Talk about that. Talk about that because let me lead them to what you're gonna talk about.
Yeah.
See, because again, a part of your greatness, the inevitable is adversity, and sometimes that adversity can be water or fire. Go ahead.
Water or fire. So this was my best friend. We have been knowing each other since we was 13 and 11. I was the older one. And we grew up basically together. His whole family on his mom's side know who I am. They watched me grow up. We have a lot of the same friends and community, right? And even with my oldest son, he was my best friend. Me and my oldest son's father would get to arguing about something. He would hang the phone up and then come back with diapers and clothes, and we were literally best friends for the longest. When I say stuck in the friend zone, he was. And somewhere along the line, he grabbed my heart. And so to get that from someone who you feel is your best friend, who is totally connected, even though y'all having problems, even though you don't understand why he does some of the things he do, right? I still felt like this was my best friend. The way he left. Like if we communicated, maybe, but the way you left and the fact that you left me destitute with the child biologically you and I always wanted, that hurt. Yeah. That hurt the most. And for me, I think it was a matter of what do I do with this? And you know how they had that saying, pressure makes diamonds.
Come on.
Or it's gonna break you.
Come on.
And for me, there was a storm, and either the storm was gonna break me or I was gonna break through. And I feel like I did that. Along this journey, that I've been able to get 2 promotions.
Come on.
2 promotions. I'm making more money than I ever seen in my life.
Come on.
The prayer was, if my son's father is not going to be here, I need to be able to care for him like he got 2 parents. Since then, I have also purchased a home.
A new home.
A brand new home, new build.
Come on.
And the priority was for him to have a place. Because I'm 43. I don't have a problem saying my age. No. 43 years old.
She's not old, y'all.
And this boy runs.
She keep talking about she old, man. Stop
I ain't saying I'm old. I'm just saying he runs. And
but here he comes.
Well,
here's
the man of the hour.
Here is the man of the hour.
Hey, can you say hi?
Right here. Hello. So let me read this for you right quick, and then we're gonna get back. You go ahead. We gotta get. We're gonna wrap it up in a minute. We're gonna wrap it. Yes, that was him. That was the diamond that we were talking about. So let me. I want her to finish. But we ain't gonna give it all to y'all in this one episode. Y'all gonna have to come back and get some more of this. Trust me, it's so powerful. Because again, I really want her to talk about how that greatness that was always within her put her in a position where she didn't quit. Not only that she didn't quit, she put her gloves on, right? Her work gloves / boxing gloves. You know what I mean? / catcher's mitt. You know what I mean? She put them things, she put every glove on that she needed to put on and did what she needed to do. Because again, I want you to understand, in the midst of all of this, she probably didn't know the greatness that was in her until the adversity came. Now, let me say this before I let her finish. You all know out there in Move Monday's world that Coach Paul had an issue with heroin for 30 years. My son, who we are talking about, He's never had drug and alcohol issues, right? So I want y'all to understand that all the stuff that went on was not because of the hands of a person who was addicted to drugs or alcohol. He didn't have those addictions. And I want y'all to know that you don't have to be addicted to drugs or alcohol, right, to do some dysfunctional stuff. Now, don't get me wrong. Y'all better not start talking about my son like he's somebody, like he's a nobody, because he's not. He's human just like all of us. And we have issues that some of us don't deal with in a healthy manner. That's what we're going to say about that. So we're not talking about him. We just helping somebody out there in the Move Mondays world understand that, yes, you're going to have some adversity. What you do with it is what's important, because one of the things that she said that's helping her is that she doesn't walk in hate or unforgiveness. Go ahead.
So what I want you guys to know is I asked Dad, could we do this? Because what he does inspires me. But 10 years ago, I was involved in over the process, right, of MLM. And what MLM is like multi-level marketing. If you've had people come to you, show you a video, they trying to sell something to you because it's building through a network, right? But when you go to when you do those, they also have trainings. And what happened was I saw someone who looked like me, female, Black, on stage telling her story and moved me to tears. And in that moment, I started having that vision. I want to be that person, because who can you help through your story? And at the time, this wasn't my story. This was just, I want to figure out.
Well, she didn't know it was her story.
I didn't.
Let me tell y'all that. Go ahead.
I didn't know it was my story. So what I've done from this process is, so many times when people hear my story, they're like, "Oh, girl, you need to write a book." Well, that's what I am in the process of doing.
This is the start. Move Mondays. Go ahead.
Move Mondays. I've also been a part of the Black Authors Masterclass, so I can properly learn how to write, edit, and put my book out there. And then putting a platform together, because like so many times people need to be invited to speak, or they don't have a platform on which they can speak on. So me and my friends, we have powerful conversations business-wise, because we want more. But it's not just that we want more. We want to know who else out there we can help bring along with us, right? So if I'm not invited, that's not the end for me. Now it's like, okay, how can I create it? Yeah. And so these are just stepping stones into that. Yeah. So with losing my ex, I've also had a lot of other loss, back to back to back. So lost my mom in January. So we're coming up on the anniversary of that. And it is what it is, but things that I think my mom will be proud to see me accomplish, like she missed the house. She's missed that my son is starting to talk, some of the things she was excited to see. But personally, I feel like these are things she would be excited for. So in my mind, in my heart, I want to continue to make my mom proud of me. So I want to create that, right? Then my oldest, he's gotten married. He has been my buddy right by my side. So him finding his bride and his queen is great. I'm so happy for his happiness. But him moving out and then moving farther away from me than anticipated, that felt like a loss. So
let me stop you right there. That all of these things that happened, because I talked about one of my previous episodes a couple of weeks ago was called Adjust and Adapt, right? Adjust, because part of our greatness is going to call us to do some adjustments and learn how to adapt. Talk about how this experience with loss and son growing out has caused you to learn how to adjust and adapt. Go ahead.
I like how you said grow out. I would not probably have put it that way. The thing is, I like basketball. And a lot of times when life comes at you, you have to pivot, but so often we're reactive.
Come on.
How do you become proactive? And for me, there's always room as a human being to hit that reset button. So there's some things that I noticed, man, this year I wanted to accomplish this goal or that goal. And I just feel like it's set on the shelf. Yeah. What happened? Yeah. And I have to accept that there's some things that's been going on, grieving, other things like that, right? But then you get that opportunity to say, those things didn't die within me.
Come on.
Reset. So it was more so a pivot. If the prayer was, I need to be able to care for my son the way as if he had two parents, then financially I'm in a space. He got a home, he got a backyard. Love that backyard more than he probably do. Okay. Right. But then my oldest moving now, okay, there's some things I counted on him for, like dishes, trash, things a young man can do that I now have to do. But there's a good adjustment too, because kids eat. And my oldest ate a lot. You don't got to buy that much groceries no more. But it's just really realizing the situation, allowing yourself to feel those feels and not denying those feels, having a community in which you can communicate with and talk about how you're feeling, and real people that's going to tell you what's really going on. I like my friends to not lie to me.
That's great.
If I'm being a brat and I'm complaining, I need you to tell me, Tiana, you doing too much. Or let me know, no, you're legit and how you feeling. And so I appreciate my friends because they are real with me. But it's a matter of if things are different, not gone. My son is still here. I now have gained a daughter-in-law. So now I've got another relationship that I can have, that I can build, that I can nurture. And as a woman, a Black woman at that, personally, I feel like now I can show her and share with her, along with other young women in my life, that life is gonna throw you some curves.
Adversity.
It's gonna throw you adversity. And how you deal with it
come on.
is really what turns out to define you. So many people will hear my story and say, man, how did you make it? Or I would have been broken, or whatever the case may be. One other thing I've heard too is, man, you strong. I don't really love that, just to be honest with you, because as a woman, I would love to not have to be strong. I'm strong because I have to be. But I'm
going to cut you off there. Because sometimes being strong is being weak. We have to understand that being strong doesn't always mean we get to stand up with our chest out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes our chest is sunken in. And what do I mean by being strong is being weak? Being strong, what that means is sometimes it's strong to know that I do have weaknesses. Yeah. Right. And I need somebody to be able to help me through situations and circumstances. Right. And so when I talk, and because when we talk about being strong, especially with strong, I hate the word strong Black woman. Because most strong Black women do that at the expense of Black men. No. You know what I'm saying? Most of you got a lot of them that step on Black men in the name of strong Black woman. So, how do I know? I had a mama who was like that. I'm just being honest. And so and so with that being said, I just want us to understand that sometimes, sometimes a part of your greatness is knowing that my strength is gonna be knowing that I have weaknesses. Yeah. And being able to embrace the fact that I'm weak in this area and I need somebody to help me with this weakness or whatever the case may be. So
when you say that though, I automatically am like, there's strength in tears. Yeah. There's strength in saying I need help. Absolutely. There's strength in I'm not okay today.
Yeah. That's a strong one. Go ahead.
and I don't have a problem crying. Yeah. Well, I don't like to cry in front of people, but I don't have a problem saying I need help.
Listen, I'll cry on the bus stop. I don't care. If I need to cry, I don't care. Well, I need to cry, and I'm gonna cry. Go ahead.
Certain things. There's something for everybody, right? But for me, like, I don't have a problem saying I'm not okay today, or I need help, or picking up the phone and saying today isn't a good day, and I feel good when I talk to you. Yeah. Can we talk?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Yeah. There's strength in that. And here's the thing, as a woman, you don't have to break down your man in particular, right? Our men need to know and feel valued, respected, and appreciated. And when you as a woman understand that you build up and pour into your man, okay, and that man is protecting and providing for you, then that just works.
Yep.
Is a delicate balance involved in that.
You hear that, black woman? Do you hear that, black woman?
But if you tear him down, let me tell you something about the man. He gonna hold on to that.
Come on.
He gonna hold on to that.
Come on.
But I had to learn that. I didn't always know that.
Yeah.
Right. So being with my ex, I mainly was the breadwinner. But at a certain point, I realized maybe I'm demasculating him by doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we moved to Arizona, I had a hard time finding a job in my field. I do IT. So I didn't think that was going to be a problem, but I couldn't find a job right away, right? And so I did part-time work. But we had a conversation about that. And it ended up working out where he was working, he was the provider, he was thriving as a man. And not that it's got to be gender specific or anything like that. We're not talking about that roles are gender specific. It's more so making sure he understood that I valued and appreciated him for what he was doing for his family. Yeah. You don't have to tear your man down. Come on. Right? Because that's only going to break down your home within. And a woman can either build it up or tear it down. That's what the Bible says. It's in the Bible. It's biblical. It's biblical. So that was, as I grew as a woman, I love talking to people who have been married, older ones, whatever the case may be. I started to grow and develop, but I wasn't always there. It took a lot of intentional development to get me to that space and that point. So let me ask you this question then. Did your development come more through intentionality, adversity, or a combination of the two? Always a combination. Okay. It's always a combination because the adversity just had forced me to have to move. Be intentional. Yeah. Be intentional. So when things started to happen, when we had the loss, right away, intentionally, I put me and my oldest in therapy. Yeah. I thought that was important because we needed a healthy way to cope with the situation. Okay, so many people will shy away from therapy or feel like it don't work. Especially people of our color. Especially Black people. That's why we don't heal, right? And that's the thing. It's always what happened in my house, stay in my house. Ooh, I hate that. Right? I hate that. So many people miss, watch this. I'm glad she said that. So many people missed their greatness and died before it. Right? Before even developing their greatness because of that culture that we were raised in when we were younger. In our generations, what happens in this house stays in this house. Yeah. And when the reality of it is what was happening in the house needed to be told. Needed to be told because probably law enforcement needed to get involved. Yes. Right? You never know what the situation really was. But if it was being kept quiet like that, it was definitely a problem. Yeah. So that was step one, making sure we were going to heal properly, at least in a healthy manner, deal with what was going on. But also not allow, we're not ostriches. Okay. So many times I wanted to bury my head in the sand. I was tired of adulting. So I'm glad you said that because ostracizing and isolation is pretty much the same thing. Missing our greatness is because of sometimes we ostracize ourselves or we isolate. Mm-hmm. Why didn't you? Because again, that was the easiest thing to do, to ostracize myself or isolate myself out of embarrassment and shame because I stayed so long. I want to land the plane because I want to give these people all of this stuff. Y'all got to come back for part 2. I want to land the plane with why didn't you ostracize yourself? Or let me say this, take the easier road by ostracizing yourself or isolating. Here's what I'll say to that. I don't think I intentionally didn't or did. I just made moves that I thought were important. Okay. So one of the things with going through therapy and because of the situation having like state funded insurance, they make you have I don't know what they called it, but it was basically like a coach, someone who helps you with if you needed a job, if you needed things done or community outreach or whatever the case may be. So they kind of make you not isolate and not ostracize. And through that, I was able to meet some really important, influential people that I've now gained friendships with.
Okay.
And so get your eyes opening to what the other possibilities are. You start meeting people who are like, oh, I know someone who could help you with that, or oh, that's an awesome idea. Why don't you try this? So things like that, things I never thought I would actually do or be involved in community wise. I've been able to experience and explore those opportunities with friends that I now have because I wasn't allowed to. So if I was in a situation where maybe I was allowed to, it's a possibility. But you never know why people were put into your life. Seasons, reasons, right? So not everything is meant to stay, right? But so in my mind, my marriage was meant to be here forever. Maybe that wasn't the case. I don't know. I just feel like with what was put in front of me, I was just making moves accordingly. But the prayer was still there that I couldn't fail. And so for me, you have to give him something to bless. And in order to do that, you got to keep moving.
Come on. You heard what she said? You got to give him something to bless. And in order to do that, you got to keep moving. So you, in the midst of adversity, right? We all going to have some of it. We all going to have it. We are all going to have adversity. You can't ostracize yourself or start to isolate, because ostracizing ourselves and isolating ourselves is the greatest enemies of greatness. 100%. But one of the greatest allies of greatness is going through the adversity and growing through it. And this is one of the things that Tiana has exhibited in her life 100%. With that being said, we are not giving y'all all this in this one episode. We coming back again. Listen, but before we go, y'all know I gotta say what I always say. And I'm gonna say it like this. Be well. Do the next right thing. God bless every last one of y'all. We love y'all. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. And if you looking for a butt, it's going to always be easy to find one. We'll see y'all next time on Move Mondays with part 2 to Adversity is a Part of Your Greatness. Deuces.